so far and that you're enjoying your Sunday. It's finally cooled off here a tiny bit, which is amazing. So I feel a lot more in my element and ready to stream. So today I'm working on my 4 comp Batman 50 books. So when you're an artist for a company, a lot of times they'll give you complimentary books. So they're called comps now. And so I received 3 from DC and 1 from Yancey Street Comics. So I have 4. Well, actually I got 2 from Yancey, 3 from Yancey. I gave 1 to my mom and dad. I kept 1 for myself and 1 I'm offering here for some people on my email list. So I sent out an email to my email list, and if anybody wants to get on my email list, you just go to my website and subscribe. That is the place where everybody gets first dibs on commissions or any cool things that I have, especially limited stuff. And so this went out to my email list yesterday, and 4 people chose them, and they got back to me with which characters they'd like me to do. And so I have 4 remarks to do today for people on my email list. Hello, Anthony and William. How are you guys doing? I'm glad you guys could make it to the stream. So what I did, because these books are quite dark, and that's me, I colored it that way, right? I'm not complaining about the printing or anything. The printing was amazing. The coloring that I chose for this one, I went for like a darker candlelight wedding scene. So as such, being able to see my pencils while I was working on them, it was going to be too dark for you guys. I actually was planning and started doing remarks on another stream, and then I realized they were too dark for you to see my pencil work. So I did the penciling in advance, just so that you guys wouldn't have to be watching the stream and there was nothing to see. Because it's hard for me to see my pencil lines, much less for them to convert to camera and upload on the computer and everything. It was going to be impossible for you to see. So I have the basics of the faces already drawn out. But I will be using these pens, and what they are is they are acrylic markers. So they're filled with acrylic ink or acrylic paint, and they're really good for working on the more glossy paper like this. This paper has, it's a glossy paper, and then I guess the inks on it or whatever it is makes it so that it doesn't, it has little to no absorption, and as such you need something that's going to dry on the surface of the paper. So that's why I'm using acrylic paint pens and markers. Hello, Chris. Hi, Kevin. SF Williams, I know I need to know who you are. I better check. But hello. Hi, Jason. I'm doing great. Hello, Vanra FN. I think that's what your name is. And then William, you're having serious pen issues. I use let's see. I use the Copic marker multi-liners. The Copic multi-liners, and then I also use Faber-Castell Eco Pigment pens. You can also use Pitt pens with Copic markers. It depends on the piece of paper if it's going to dry properly or not. I usually give it a decent amount of time to dry, but those ones for me work great with Copic markers. Hello, Dave. Oh, Juan Solo, you were one of the 4. That's awesome. So I have your, I think you were the Joker, so I've got that one here for you. So since you're here, maybe we can start with Joker. Oh my God, I'm so sorry that you don't have video, Devin. That's super weird. Can you try refreshing? Yes, if you use the Copic multi-liners, sometimes they do have a little bit of a smushing issue on the actual tips. But if you buy their metal ones, these are the Copic Multiliner SP ones, you can change out the nibs, which is really awesome. Yes, Jason, the 4 were claimed pretty much right away, and I'm sorry that 4 is all I had to offer. So I do know that there are a lot more on eBay, but those ones are not from me. And you know, you get what you get as far as the sketch goes. Yeah. Yeah, the SP ones are great because you can switch out the nibs. So I find them really handy. Okay, now even though I'm not working with Copic markers, I do use a dab pad of sorts. And so I have a pad of paper to the side for these, because you do have to activate them by pressing down and letting out some ink. So they have like a ball on the inside, and so you have to let out the ink and it can kind of go everywhere. So I have a pad for that. Okay, and then I actually went and bought myself some more Remark pens, and I got myself some Sharpie permanent marker fine nib pens. So I have these as well. The last time all I had to use was the big fat acrylic paint pens, and they're quite a bit fatter of a pen than I'm used to, so I got something a little finer to use. All right, so I'm gonna have to kind of angle my head to see my sketch lines on the pieces, so I may go out of camera quite a bit. So I apologize for that. It is only for this particular project that I have to go in weird contortions to be able to see my my sketch lines. But you guys should be able to see everything as I work on it. And hopefully the music is working properly today. I turned up the volume on the music a little tiny bit because I felt like it was quite quiet. Now, I personally can't hear the music, so if it's a weird volume for you or anything like that, just let me know. Now, one thing with this is that for any parts that I want color, I generally have to put the color down first. So like on Joker's lips, where he has the red, like lipstick basically, I'm gonna need to put that down before I go over it with the black line. And so I'm getting my Sharpie markers. So here's my Sharpie marker collection. It's all in a giant box like this. So I'm just gonna grab my red, and you know, I need to get a new red soon, but for now I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, I agree, Kevin. Sometimes it really depends on the paper that you get, or the paper that you use. So any recommendations that I'm giving are from paper that I personally use, and when I'm brought a blank, I test it in the back. I just do a little tiny circle by the barcode, or even just a little line somewhere in the barcode. I let it dry for a couple minutes, and then I'll go over it with Copic marker. And if it smears, I respectfully decline that blank, just because I know what tools I use and I know what works and what doesn't. And then if the paper does not work, it's a very unhappy day. So test it, always test it. So he's got his grin going up like that, and on the other side it's the same. Hello, Philip. How are you? So I want his big, scary grin in first, because I have to get the Sharpie marker lines down before I do any of my actual black lines. You know, for smearing on remarks, I use a completely different set of tools than I usually do for normal paper because the remarks are glossy. So you have to use permanent pens for starters. Nothing Copic marker related. You can use Copic opaque white though, because that is a paint, or at least some type of paint. So I use acrylic paint pens. I have some Montana ones, which one of the people on the stream told me can be gotten at Michael's. I personally was given these as a gift, so I don't know where they came from. And I was given them in Kuwait, so I was really not sure that we could even find them in North America. And then the other pens that I've gotten are Molotov. And there's that brand. And then I've got Posca. It's a Uni Posca brand. And all of these ones are ones that I've found work really well. You definitely need to go with acrylic paint pens, Sharpie markers, permanent stuff, not any other tools really. Hello, Scott. Hello, Gabriel Black. Simone, yes, I did get accepted into Emerald City. Woot! So happy about that. Now I'm gonna test, because I actually haven't tested these ones. I'm gonna see if they smear. So I'm just very gently going over the black line with my finger, and no, they don't smear. So yes, permanent pens are the way to go. Let's see how this one is. So now I can go over the red with the black line, and I'm not gonna have the smudging issue. Whereas if I go over the black with the red, it's gonna pick it up and make the black just get all smeary and gross. But this way it won't. And since he has lots of scars and stuff on his face, I'm going to be drawing him with a lot more lines than I would say on a female character. Well, if she had a lot of scars, you would do the lines, but without the scars, you can give it a little bit more smoothness. Oh, and I'm sorry, you guys, I was going off screen. Let me bring the camera a little further down. I know, I don't understand why Mike hasn't gotten into a Reed show yet, and it's crazy. Mike is such an amazing, incredible, renowned artist. I got nothing. So the Joker has a very long, thin face and a super long chin. So it sort of throws off your usual face structure and setup. So it always takes me a try or two. I mean, now it doesn't, but when I was first getting going on Joker, like a couple weeks ago, because I've really never drawn him, which is crazy, it took me quite a while to like remember, okay, like his face setup is completely different than like any other face, really. So it's really, it's a different one to draw, for sure. Mike Chrome is awesome. True Deadman, Mike Chrome. He's an artist. I actually started in comics inking Mike Chrome. Oh, hello, Quantum Priest. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well as well. Listen to that. It's amazing. I don't like using the same word in one sentence. It's wrong somehow. Okay, now I want to really accentuate his teeth here. He's got a massive toothy grin, so I really want to go for that here. And I didn't really do pencil lines for that part, so I'm just gonna have to freehand it. So generally the two front teeth are right in the center, so gotta make sure those are in there first. Hey Rick! Juan Solo, it took about 9 minutes, 10 minutes for them all to sell out, and I think there were, at the very end, I think there were 9 active carts for the last 2, so it was really just whoever clicked and finished the checkout first. But I feel bad that they were gone so quickly. I mean, it's awesome for an artist that your work is gone quick, but then at the same time, I feel kind of bad for everybody who was trying to check out and just was a few seconds after the other person. But I will be having other fun special things like that for my email list only. So I'm gonna try to do something special a lot more often than I have been managing to of late. And for anyone on here who is not on my email list, I highly recommend that you get on, and I will put that there for you to subscribe. Did I think it was going to be gone so fast? No, I didn't. It was a pleasant surprise. You never know, right? Like it could go really quickly or it could take forever. Yes, it is cooler here today. I am back in my normal element in long sleeve shirts and I'm much happier. Goodness, this is a brand new pen and it's like already feeling dry. It's so strange. Alright, I do believe that these pens are also permanent, waterproof, permanent. Yes, alright. So this should work. Oh, hello, Primetime Comics! Lino Gomez, hi! You were watching your phone like a hawk. You're awesome, Juan. Well, it's nice that I actually get to work on yours while you're here. This is so fun. Okay, now I just get the teeth even on the other side. All right, I'm gonna zoom in a tiny bit so hopefully you guys can see it a little better. Oh, and awesome news, I finished coloring the digital colors for the main version of Hell Witch this morning. Boom! So yay, now I'm about more or less halfway done on the alternate version, and so I will definitely be making my deadline for any of you out there who care. I know I really care that I make my deadline. So I'm really close to being done, and there's one thing I extremely respect and I am so grateful for in my husband. He's very honest with me. Sometimes in my work, it's something I don't want to hear. But when he says I did a good job and when he says he thinks it's my best work yet, I can believe him. So, like, I so appreciate that honesty. If he was always telling me my work looked good and it was really awesome, his opinion would lose value, right? Like, so sometimes I get, you know, some feedback from him and like, I don't like it. But when he says it's good, I can rest assured that it, you know, in his opinion, I did a good job. And then I can feel so much better about it. And he said that he thinks it's my best coloring yet, which is so awesome. I'm so happy, and I'm really happy with the work too, but you know, I always want to be 100 times better than I am, right? So, you know, I have to just kind of like ignore myself half the time. So I am so happy that at least right now it is done, and I'm hoping Coffin Comics is going to be happy with it. Yeah, I'll hit the deadline. Woohoo! I'm so happy. And if I'm early, mall trip. Oh, well, thank you so much for getting on my email list, Anthony. That's awesome. Okay, back to teeth. Now, I'm gonna kind of, since I kind of put all the teeth in on this side, I'm not gonna put as much detail on this side, and I'll make this part where the light is hitting. So it's not gonna have quite as much details, because, you know, when you draw in every tiny little detail of the teeth, it can be a little intense. That's just too much information going on. So I'm gonna dial it back on this side a little bit. Less is more. And then filling it in, because your smile does kind of extend beyond the curve of your actual jawline or teeth inside. I know, that was so nice of you to say, Chris. Thank you so very much. Oh, thank you, not Star-Lord's fault. Yes, pauses, I have worked for DC Comics. Thank you, Gabriel Black, you are awesome. Go. Smile is done. Pauses, what I had to do, I can't tell you exactly what everybody has to do, because I think that how publishers work is, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how all the decisions are made. For me personally, what I did is I went to Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, who are both amazingly wonderful people who I adore. They are such nice, amazing people. And I went up to them with my stack of comic books that I had worked on, and I was like, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I, don't even think as a mom of 3 that I could take on working on a full series, but if you ever have a couple pages here or there that you would consider letting me work on, drawing for Harley is my dream. Even just once, even just for a couple pages, I would love to be able to draw something for Harley Quinn. So Jimmy Palmiotti said, I'll give you some tryout pages. I did some tryout pages for Jimmy Palmiotti, and he just sent me some, I guess some script that was like for tryouts. And so I did those, I think it was 3 pages. And so I did those 3 pages, and he was like, okay, I'll keep you in mind. And then you wait. And I heard back from him. They needed 5 pages done. It was an extremely rushed deadline for Harley Quinn and Her Gang of Harleys issue 5. And they needed the 5 pages done in 10 days. So I just had to haul ass. I dropped everything I was doing, and we were in the middle of a move, so half of our stuff was already in our new house, and half of the stuff was in our old house, so all of my Harley books were packed and in a different house. It was summer break, so all the kids were home. It was a crazy, crazy time, but it was my dream, and I got it done, and I'm so grateful to Jimmy and Amanda. So that's how I first started working for DC, and then since then I've done 2 exclusive variants. Oh, thank you so much, Philip. Yes, it's not hot anymore. Right now, Captain Chris, I don't have any other Robin Hoods. My next cover for Zenescope is slotted with an October 15th deadline, and it is a Callie cover, and it's a holiday exclusive variant. So, or an exclusive. I don't know if it's a variant because it's actually for Zenescope, but yeah, I'm working on Kaylee next, and it's a Christmas one, so I'm excited. It is so much cooler, but yeah, it is hazy AF, Simone. I don't know that I'm gonna have Rothic books. I have 2 Rothic books left right now, but maybe. The heat wave was intense. If you want to see me whining thoroughly, it's on my last stream. Kylie, hello! Yeah, we have fires here too. It's super hazy. It's very, very smoky. It smells kind of like a campfire. Alright, so I'm going for the crazy eyes on the Joker today. I guess his hair is somewhat green. I'm just gonna put a little green tinge under his eyebrows. Though really, I'm gonna make them mostly black, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a green color. And I'm giving him the super extreme arch. Yeah, that would be so fun with a Harley cover. I did the Justice League versus Suicide Squad one, so that did have Harley in it. Yay! But yeah, I haven't done one of Harley all on her own. So I have to be careful here because I already put down marker lines, so that's gonna make it all smudge. So I'm gonna be careful of the smudge. Kylie, you know, you can find templates online. You can, and then from those templates make your own, which is what I did. Or they actually do sell pre-done comic book paper with the borders on it. It's just I wouldn't know where to tell you to find them in Australia, but you could always search on Amazon. And yeah, just do some searches, and I'm sure, you know, that's where you'll have the best chance of finding them for sure. Thank you, Lino. Okay, I think I missed some. Yeah, exactly, Kylie. It's definitely best to just search it, and then, you know, I know that you're paper picky like I am, so you could always try to find a printer, a local printer that sells a paper you like. Just test their paper, which is how I found my Cougar Super Smooth, is I just tested all the papers that they had and found Cougar Super Smooth and was like, okay, I like this one. Yeah, Paper Diva. I would recommend doing that. But then again, you know, you also do run into higher cost because it's a bit more of a specialty paper. And then you're paying for the printing as well. So it really depends on what exactly you're doing with it. If you're planning to ink on the paper, or if you're going to go pencil only, if you're going to use Copic, you know, there are so many variables. Yeah, Simone, the thing is Kylie lives in Australia, so getting anything from here in the States would probably end up costing a ton. Edwin, I would suggest that you go to a comic book store and actually talk to one of the clerks in there and tell them what stuff you like, what you're interested in, and they'd probably have some amazing recommendations to you. so now I'm gonna fill the eyes with white so that they pop. So this is acrylic paint pen for anyone who wasn't here at the beginning. And I need to let this dry before I can actually draw in his eyes. But I'm gonna keep his eyes pretty small to give him a little bit of that crazy eye look. Rick, I prefer to work on, I think it's 120-pound cover paper. But I'd have to refer to my paper list to actually check. But I do prefer the paper. For my actual comic work and stuff, the paper needs to be, I like it thick for that good sturdy cardstock feel, but then also at the same time it can't be too thick that I can't see through a light table, because I do light boxing is very much one of the stages in my work, to light box my sketch and to blow up the size of the paper so that I can make it into the final cover spec size and all of that stuff. So light boxing is a vital portion of what I do, and as such it can't be too thick that I can't see through the paper. But other than that, I prefer thicker the better, within reason as far as paper goes. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I have a nice green that I get to use for his hair. Whoop whoop. And this green is also an acrylic paint pen, and it's kind of like a fluorescent-y lime green. And I'm shaking it because the ink and whatever other substances in here do tend to separate. So I need to remix the colors. A visual artist, I'm doing something that's called a remark, and that is where I draw on the cover of the book. And I drew this cover, so that's why I'm drawing a like original sketch on the cover as well, and that is called a remark. I won't remark books that I didn't draw the cover of, just because I don't know. For me, that doesn't feel right. But for books I did the cover of, yes, I will do remarks. Yes, Lino got one of the, no, it wasn't Lino, it's, wait a second. Juan Solo. This one is for Juan Solo. Okay, so the Joker has a very receding hairline where his hair comes forward in the front, and then it goes back over here. I'm giving him a little bit of a sideburn, and then his hair kind of has a little bit of a mad scientist look to it, at least in the version that I'm doing right now. Oh my God, you made it home in time, Mike. That's amazing. No, thank you so much, Jason. All right, so I'm gonna erase some of my pencil lines while I'm waiting for the acrylic paint to dry. So I just have a few of my sketch lines that are visible, and it's crazy because I really sketched on this just to be able to see a basic idea of where to put everything, and even still I can barely see them. So I'm just lightly erasing in a few spots. I can leave the pencil marks. Do you prefer them like that? All right, I'll leave the pencil marks. All right, so I think because, you know, the Joker's head, I think that it would look good if there was a little bit of a body there. So I'm gonna get one of my pencils, since Juan is okay with that. And I'm gonna give him a little bit of his bow tie and jacket. So he's got a real long skinny neck, and then he has his, just let me make sure I get this right. I think he has a purple bow, no. It's a green bow tie and a purple coat, I think, but let me just check. I don't want to do it wrong. Okay, yeah, it's a purple jacket, green bow tie, yes. Or sometimes it's a purple, no, yeah, it's a green bow tie, purple jacket. Okay, good, I was right. Yeah, it depends on who's drawing him, but I would like to try to at least be semi-right here. Okay, so let's give him a nice high collar here, just for fun. And I don't want to cover up Catwoman, so I'm just going to keep it kind of narrow, and I'm just going to do a high collar and the little bow tie, and it's just to cover the roses and be represented without going too far. And I'm just looking for purple, choosing the right purple. Yes, it's a loose bow, that's what I mean. Bow tie was the wrong word. Though there are versions where he has a legit bow tie. So I'm just going to make it so that his collar is up. And let's give him a bow tie. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad the music is sounding good. We turned it up a tiny bit, so I wasn't sure if that would work for people or not. I'm happy to hear that it is. Thank you so much for letting me know, Tyler. So I have a little more room on this side, so I'm going to make the bow tie a little bit longer on this side. And I will go in and put some black lines on this in just a second. Okay, so I need to let that dry. All right, so the eyes have dried now, and I want him to have the real crazy eye, which means I'm just gonna literally put a dot. A really tiny little pupil right there, and that's it. Crazy eyes. I'm a little off screen. Sorry about that. Oh, yay, I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Juan. Okay, now I'm just gonna do a quick outline so that he stands out. And Joker is finished. So let me sign it. Juan, your Joker's done. So I'm gonna gently set this aside so that it dries, because the acrylic paint pens do take a minute to dry. So I'm gonna set this over here. And then Juan, I'll be sending you tracking when I mail it out. So I'll keep you posted. So here we go. And time to get working on the next one. No, thanks guys. Okay, now I have 2 Ivies and 1 Harley. So I'll work on the Harley now, and then I'll work on the, actually, you know what? I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna do Ivy, Harley, Ivy. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so for this Ivy, I want to, this one is for Mike Saunders. So Arctic Wonder, this one is yours. So I want to start with some makeup. Okay. Testing some pens here. Thank you so much, Juan. And I want to fix something. Okay, I realized my eraser is over there. Hold, please. All right, I'm back. I just want to fix her eye right here. So I have to be really careful with erasing because it can start to pick up the color underneath. So there's this little vine coming down in the front, and I'm gonna try to add that into the hair, and the swoosh of her hair will incorporate said little vine coming down on the actual cover. You're glaring at Arctic with jealousy. You guys are awesome. All right, so I need to start with, oh no, I just stuck my hand in ink. It's just gonna be too easy to get ink all over my hand and then all over a book. It's just way too easy. So it's just some light Sharpie, and it's really only going to be under the black lines of the actual pen, but I feel like it just adds a little bit. Hey Kylie! Orange for her hair, I kind of do the same thing, where I, oh yes, this is a very good color. Happiness. Kara's here, yay! Oh my goodness, I did not have this marker with me when I was at Yancey. Oh, I would have had a much easier time with Ivy's hair. I didn't realize I had such a nice orange. Woohoo! So I'm just carefully along the line. I don't want to ruin the book. But I just want it to show that her hair is on the side of her jaw. So it isn't only, like there's a little curl coming in the front, but then I do want it to finish out right here. It could look like her jaw just carries on for infinity. To infinity and beyond. Oh, is the music a touch loud? Okay, I'll turn it down. Sorry guys. For sure. Here we go. See, I can't hear it. All right, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. How's that? Turn it down more. That's good? That's good. Okay. Thank you so much for telling me, you guys. Please always feel free to do that. Do you want me to turn it down more? Sorry, everyone. I can't hear it. Okay. All right. Just keep me posted, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting in some of the lines. Andrew. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I don't really know how to handle that whole part with her, her eyebrow just either disappearing or carrying on a little bit. It's a hard one. She doesn't need an eyebrow. I'm gonna see if I can turn off that light and if it's too dark without it. All right, it seems to be fine. So I'm gonna leave that light off. Okay, now I'm going to use a magenta-y color for her lips. You thought it was my commission list was open. I am going to be doing another email for my commission list for Cincinnati and Baltimore that are coming up. So my list will be open for those, and I'll be letting my email list pick those ones up. So first it's Sharpie marker, and then I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll be going over it with the black line. Emerald City is in Seattle, so that one's happening in March of next year. And actually, I do have a acrylic paint pen. So at the end where I want her hair to be going like on top of her lashes and in different places coming down in curls, I do have a marker that can do that. So it can kind of go over all the Sharpie marker at the end. Yeah, I totally understand that you think of Oz. I'd have to see, Jason. I'm not sure. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, so I have Cincinnati and Baltimore that I'm gonna be taking remarks at, but it's a limited amount, so I will be writing around to my email list in the next week or two with the openings for that. I always have to be careful on the edge of the paper because I am working very close to the edge. I don't want to accidentally nick the paper and bend it. Oh, thank you so much, Kara and Kylie. You girls are awesome. I'm going to be in Cincinnati for Cincinnati Comic Expo. I think it's in the second weekend of September. I'd have to check. I went a little bigger than usual on this Ivy because I want to give a lot of space for her hair, and that's because I have a plan. I want to put a bunch of like vines and leaves and flowers in her hair. Mike, are you still on? Oh, that would be so fun, Scott. All right, see you later, Kylie. Who runs a local con? Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Rick. Okay, Mike, are you okay if I cover Catwoman's arm a little bit with Ivy hair? Or would you rather, like, it's entirely up to you. I was just thinking to do some curls coming out this way, but I don't have to at all. Oh my god, this is like literally the best color for Ivy's hair, and I did not have this one with me when I did the remarks, so I failed. But I'm so glad I found it this time. Whoop whoop! Do whatever I need to do. Oh, I'm so sorry, The Last Starfighter. I'm so glad you made it. Well, I'll just make her hair look like it's sort of floofing off into the distance. I don't want to take over the whole cover, but something like that. And then I'm going to work on her lips now because they've dried. Good answer. Do a couple little more. All right, so now I'm just gonna work on her lips and her eyes again. Do all the different little layers, and then we're gonna go on to her hair. That's gonna be fun. Oops, I bumped it with my forehead. Sorry, everybody. But thankfully, I can do little adjustments when I'm inking it. Really, you never get Twitch notifications? That is so weird. And you have your whole thing set up to give them? Because like my phone is buzzing all day with all the different people that I follow. So it's super strange that some people don't get it. Do you think it's because I have myself set to invisible and that's why it's not notifying people? Because maybe I just need to change my setting. And if it's something that I'm doing wrong, then I can fix it. I need to thicken this side of her lip a little bit more. So this isn't completely recommended, but if you change your mind on something in a remark and you've already inked it, you can go over it with the Sharpie marker and it kind of erases it, and then you can fix it or change it. You get the notifications? That's so bizarre. Okay, so now it looks like the white acrylic paint kind of pulled some of the black lash lines. So I'm gonna fix that before I can go in and work on the actual eyes. But I do know that eyes are important to Mike, so I will try my best to do a good job. Okay, so a lot of you get them, and some people don't, which is super bizarre. Oh, thank you so much, Philip. Thank you so much, Frandrigezo. I'm sorry, maybe, should I just call you Fran? Maybe that's your name. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna put down a few more hair lines, and this is like an orangey red, so it is gonna be a little darker than the red that she has in her hair right now, but that's good because I'm essentially making it an inked line. So right now I'm using the red. Oh yeah, see, it almost looks the same orange now. But this is the acrylic pen, and it is a bit more opaque, so it can cover things like lashes and stuff like that I've drawn in. Oh, I'm sorry, Frandrigezo. I'm so sorry for reading your name incorrectly. Thank you. No, Dan is out biking with our two boys today, so he's not home at the moment. No, the Forest Lord isn't an X-Clam yet. I don't think so. Oh, Frandriguez. Oh, like that. Frandriguez. Oh. All right, thank you so much for explaining it to me. All right, so now while that's drying, there's all these levels of things that have to dry before I can finish them. And that's the complicated thing with working with paint. And you know, that has to be what happens with painters all the time, is they have to wait for things to dry. I'm not used to that. I'm used to just kind of being able to get things done quickly and move on from one thing to the next. Now I'm having to work in layers, so I'm gonna wait for that to dry and I'm gonna work on something else. He does. He is downstairs, I believe. I've had a hard time keeping Sherlock around. But you know what? I would not want Sherlock on the table, or keeping him around for live streams. I would not want him on the table here. He would step in all the paint and ruin everything, and probably decide that sitting on the binding of your book would be a fantastic place to take a nap. Ah, the eyes weren't dry. Because cat, that's right. He loves to sleep on my portfolio book. Thankfully, my art is inside and safe, but yeah, Sherlock is one of his favorite places to go. I can see if he's by the door and bring him around to say hi. Sometimes he camps out by my door. I'm gonna put some pretty sparkles here and there in her hair. Doo-doo. Sparkle, sparkle. Another head tilt. Sorry. Okay, I want to do some blue flowers. vines. El Coli, that's, let me check. If I probably am not going to remember to message you, but by all means, please feel free to message me if you have my, the best place to get a hold of me is on my Facebook art page. Please feel free to do that. I may not, I am so behind on emails and everything, I'm probably not going to remember to find you and message you, but by all means, please feel free to message me and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put all the white highlights in her hair and stuff like that. And then I'm still waiting for the whites of her eyes to dry. So I'm going to have to do that towards the end. Now I'm going to use the thicker one to make her pop. Oh, I didn't have, I did not have a tea ready. That's my bad. She nearly had a cuteness attack. Aw, that's so sweet. My pleasure. Alright, now it's just the waiting game for her eyes. Okay, my hands are clean. That eye is good. That one's almost dry, so I can at least start putting in the pencil lines for this eye. Alright, I'm just getting the right green for her eye color. I'm going to start with light green, and I have to kind of dab it because if I color it in full, it does tend to pick up the acrylic paint. So I'm just kind of dabbing it on top of the acrylic paint. And because this is kind of a busy cover, I've found that filling in the eyes with white at least helps the eyes to pop. And I'm just using some dark green to give it a little bit more clarity. And then I'll do like a jelly roll pen on top. So I've made her eyes a little bit smaller. I feel that they fit a little better on her face if they're not quite so big. Oh, I'm glad you liked the song. Okay, now I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, make sure my hand is clean. Yes, all right, so this eye is finally dry. Now I'm gonna work on making the eyes level. Even though this eye is technically bigger than that eye, I am gonna be making them a little smaller. So I'm just gonna try to get it centered on the eye and even with that one. And then I'll change the actual shape of the eye right about now. Oh yeah. They sure are, Jason. It's like literally one of the best things about, well, there's so many good things about drawing Lady Death and the Coffin Comics characters, but yeah, I am very relieved when I remember that they don't have any pupils. I'm like, yes! Because for me to line them up is just the hardest thing, because you don't want them to be perfectly in the exact same spot. Like, you can't measure it from the corners to get it centered, because then otherwise they look a little bit cross-eyed or something, right? They're kind of looking like this. Anyway, it's incredibly difficult, or if you're doing a sideways shot or something like that, to get the character connecting with the person looking at the cover, it takes so long. And then when you put the glare in on the eye, it can kind of change the direction of where they're looking. So yeah, they're pretty hard, and I always have to fix and fix and fix to get them right. Yeah, they're hard. Okay, and I'm dabbing again because the, whenever I don't just do it by, like, fill it in by using little dots, it tends to pick up the acrylic paint and then make it so we're seeing the cover underneath. And the whole reason why I put down that white acrylic paint is that you can clearly see her eyes. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. It takes me many, many tries. Especially if you're working on a cover that's a 3/4 shot, but you need the character to be looking directly at the reader. And to get that connection at that angle is pretty hard. Okay, now I'm just going to use the Jelly Roll pen. And there we go. This one is done. Ivy is finished, so I get to sign this one and move on to Harley. So I'm gonna set Ivy to the side so that she can dry. But here she is, and she's all done. And Mike, I'll mail her out to you sometime this week, hopefully. So I'm just placing them over on the other side of my desk so that I don't accidentally mess them up. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, so I have now a Suicide Squad Harley Quinn to work on, and then another Ivy. Water break. Oh, thank you so much, Sir Bat Dan. All right, so Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, as you all know, she has the dripping makeup. No tea today. I didn't get it. I didn't have enough time to make it. And thank you, Gabriel Black. Oh, D Polly's here. Yay! I didn't know that you were on the stream. So this one is for D Polly, or I believe his wife, who has claimed it from him. If D Polly wife is here, hello. So it's a Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. So she has the dripping blue and pink makeup, the blonde hair with the blue and the pink dip dye hair, right? So this one, I want to make sure that I represent all of these things. Oh, and then she has red lips. So those are the elements of Harley that are what tell you that it's the Suicide Squad Harley version. At least the movie Suicide Squad, right? Wives always claim the good stuff. So anyway, I have already drawn, for anyone who's new on the stream, these were the 4 complimentary comic books that I received for drawing this cover. So I offered them to my email list, and first come, first serve as far as that. I am not accepting commissions at the moment because my commission list and wait list are full. But I will, the people on my subscription email list are the ones who are first informed about stuff like this. So there is my email list if you would like to subscribe. And then you'll be one of the first people to be notified when I'm available for commissions, which I will be taking commissions, remarks for Cincinnati Comic Expo and Baltimore Comic Con, which are both happening in September. So if you want to be on the list for being informed of those, definitely sign up. But anyway, getting back to my point, I colored this cover to be a night scene, so it's quite dark. As such, it's very difficult to see any pencil lines, so I did my sketch on my own time a little earlier on today, because if you guys would see me working, like you'd see my hand moving, but you wouldn't see what I was doing because it's very hard to see any pencil lines on this particular cover. So that's why those are prepared. Yes, I kept one for myself. I received 3 from DC Comics, I believe, and then I received, well, 3 from Yancey Street, one of which I ruined, so they let me keep it. Because I was signing and the marker just kind of exploded on a comic book. So I kept that one and gave one to my mom and dad, and I am giving the other one to my email list. Yes, I am currently 3 years behind on commissions. Earlier this year, I caught up on 2013. And 14, and now I'm trying to work up to now. So right now I'm in the 2017 range, so I'm doing good. Whoop! Well, 2016, 2017. Oh yes, I gave one to my mom and dad. And I kept one for myself, that is correct. Because the one I'm keeping for myself, I want to look through and read a few times. I've already read it twice. I'll probably read it a few more times because it's really beautiful. So I'm keeping that one. I could show you guys what I did. It's right here. It's in my drawer. So yes, what I did is I went to sign it and the marker just went everywhere. So, you know, Yancy was like, okay, well, you can just have that one. Yay! Oh, so should I just bring it to Toronto, Mike? All right, so time to get going on Harley. Now, as I told you guys before, with the makeup and stuff like that, I'm doing the Sharpie marker work first. Okay, I'll bring it to Toronto then. I'll stick it in my little comic book case. Thanks, Mike. That's super nice of you. Okay, and I need blue. And... all right, I have lots of pinks. So I'm just checking which pinks are good. That's a good pink. Nice. That's the exact same pink. Oh. Taking names soon, that's right. Hopefully. All right, I'm always getting mixed up as far as which side is pink and which part is blue, but since they specifically requested the movie one, and I do believe sometimes it switches, I'm from movie to comic book to movie. I'm gonna check the... Squad Harley. All right, so I'm just checking. Okay, so she's blue and blue on our right-hand side and pink on our left-hand side. So it doesn't swap. And then in some versions in the comic books, they swap, where it's like pink with blue and blue with pink. So I'm gonna follow the movie specifically because that is what was requested. Oh, bummer. I'm sorry, Sir Bat Dan. Okay, so I'm gonna do blue on our right-hand side, and that's for eye and hair. So I'm gonna do eye first. So I'm starting with the lighter blue, and I'm gonna go over this with black afterwards. For now, I'm just using the Sharpie markers to put down the color. Let's see if I have a lighter blue. I do. It's a little bit more purpley, but that might actually work. Maybe I can actually blend them and make them merge a little bit. Okay, and then it's all runny down the side, and it has a few little streaks that come down. So I'm kind of mixing two blues at the moment to get us a little bit of a shade shadow thing going on. We fudge it where we can and try to mix Sharpies that really don't mix, but there's like that glorious like half a second where they're both blending semi-okay. Sharpie smooshing, that's right. All right, now I'm using a much darker blue to start bringing in and setting the tone for the black that I'm gonna be putting down afterwards. But I'm blending the blue with a slightly more turquoisey blue. Ooh, this is fun. As you guys can see, I get all into the makeup and start going a little bit nuts. And I'm basically mimicking my general Copic marker method of blending. I'm just doing it with Sharpie markers. And a little bit more tricky with Sharpie markers, since obviously they're not made to blend at all. I'm just getting the lightest one again. I'm gonna check and see if I might happen to have an even lighter blue. I do not. But anyway, I'm gonna show you guys my little Sharpie collection. See, I have a nice big, it's actually like a drawer organizer that I keep my Sharpies in. Going a little further out because her makeup really does go quite far on her eyes, and you know, the whole point is that she's really got a lot going on, so I'm just making sure it's quite on there and blended. Alright, so that's done. I do have paint pens that I'm going to be using for her hair, so I don't need to worry about the hair right now. It's really the face that I'm focusing on. Fumes. Okay, so I'm going to do the pink side now, and I have 3 colors for the pink, and I'm kind of just hoping they work because I haven't used these before. Yeah, I did the Amazon Sharpie packs, but yeah, same concept. Ooh, this is a nice pink. Gonna work as a nice light base tone, which is awesome. Okay, so most of the drips on this side of the Harley will actually be going, because it's a 3/4 shot, they're gonna kind of mostly be on the outside of her cheek that we're not really gonna see, but I will put just a couple lines, and then mostly it'll just be whatever's on her physical eye, not coming down her cheek. Go. Blending this Sharpie out a little bit, as much as Sharpie can be blended, which is pretty much not at all, but I'm trying. All right, now I'm using a kind of dark magenta color that I have, but that's another marker. Let's see if this one's better, yes. So once I've used the Sharpies for quite a while, their tip, like the nib, starts to be a little bit dull. So you'll see that with my red, because it's currently the only Sharpie red I have, and it's kind of like trying to color precision line work with a crayon, because I'm using it for Harley's lips, so it's not the best, and I need to go buy a new red Sharpie post-haste. As much as it's fun to have all my Sharpies around me, my desk is getting to be quite a mess, so moving those out of the way. And I need to do her lips now. So this is the red that I have, and as you can see, it is very dull, it's very old, and I need to buy a new one. Yeah, right? I've never tried sharpening a Sharpie tip. That would be interesting. I'm just going as lightly as I possibly can so that it doesn't turn into an incredibly thick line here. And the Suicide Squad Harley, and almost all versions of Harley really, she's just very happy to be alive and very crazy and always has something fun up her sleeve, but in general I would say Harley is a very happy person. So, you know, whether she's always behaving herself is a completely different side point, but she's always quite happy. So it is fun to just give her like these little evil smirks and stuff. So for this one, I've just given her a little smirk. So right now you're seeing top and bottom lip completely colored in. I will be putting some lines in there to actually give her a mouth. But right now, yes, top and bottom lip are both colored in completely, and they look like one lip. Alright, so now I'm going to start putting in my line art. And I'm starting with the Sharpie first because if you put Sharpie over the lines, like the black lines, it'll just pick it up and take it with. So I'm doing the Sharpie first, like the colors, and then putting the black on afterwards. So I'm kind of working in reverse from how I normally do. Most of the time, that's right. I'm gonna see if this pen is a little thinner. No, it's not. I actually might want to make a slight adjustment here. Just moving her top lip up a little bit more. Her mouth may have just been slightly too low, in my opinion. There we go. Better. Hey, Keeman! No, K-Dola, I have not drawn myself as a comic book character. I do not draw myself. Alright, I'm gonna go with one of my actual inking pens. They are permanent, and I want this to be a little bit thinner. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Oh, hey, Keeman. something odd about the paper or something that I'm doing with it. It seems to make it so that my pens don't want to start. It's really weird. Okay, so I'm just drawing in her nose now. And the bridge of her nose on, excuse me, this side. And now it's time for eyebrows and eyes. Woo! And I can switch to a thicker pen. Yes, I'm putting Harley Quinn in right now. And the request for this one was for the Suicide Squad movie version of Harley Quinn. So that's what I am currently working on. So we gotta give her some nice arched, crazy eyebrows. On the other side. Of her mouth, I mean the side of her face is what I'm working on right now. Copic Queen, you guys are so nice. Okay, now it is heavy eyeliner time. And mascara and falsy lashes. Harley wears them. I don't think she does, but she definitely does put on makeup. So we're going crazy with that. She's almost got like a Clockwork Orange style lashes today. It's true. Photobomb style for Harley. All right, so now to give it enough time to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and do the whites of her eyes and let that dry while I work on her hair. Yellow enough. I'm just looking for a decent blonde-ish color. I don't really want to make it super bright yellow, but maybe this color will work. It's kind of like a champagne color. because she's such a white blonde. So I just want to get a little bit of color, really just so that it doesn't look like it's completely blank where her hair should be. This might be too light and like too close in color to the background, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Worst thing that happens is that I just cover it with another color. So I've got her her ponytail coming all the way down here in the front, and then her her two little bang strands are coming in front of her face. So those ones I'll do, excuse me, I'll do those with the acrylic paint pen. And I gotta watch out on this side, because if I go over this part of the marker, it's just gonna take it with and make a big yucky smear. So I'm just being cautious. I can be a little bolder with the acrylic paint pens, but not with the Sharpie, because it'll just turn into a big mess. Again, careful by the edges of the paper. It's just way too easy to accidentally bend that and make a huge smear or fold in the paper. So I'm just being careful right there. Okay. Here's the other side of her head. Her other ponytail is just coming around the back right here. Okay, and her, where's the lid? Her choker. So she has, it's a purple choker and it says puddin' on it. I do have a yellow that I can use to write puddin' because it's written in gold. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her the purple choker. I hope no one's looking for CGC grading. Actually, it would be about right here on her neck. Just fixing that real quick. Purple first. So this is the cool thing when I change my mind about where I want the Sharpie marker or the ink lines, the Sharpie marker will just take it with. All done. I've done with one ivy and I need to do one more. So I'll go ahead and show you guys as soon as I'm done with this one, maybe. Or, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more. Let me see if her eyes are done. They are. Okay, Harley has light blue eyes, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. What vanished? All right, so blue first, and again, I tap on it to be very careful with the acrylic paint pen that's down first. Because if I go and start coloring just freely, what happens is it picks up the white acrylic paint and smears it all around, and then you know, you start seeing the paper color underneath, which then ruins the whole look of her eyes being solid and something that you can actually see and connect with. So that's why I do it with little dots. Dot, 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 dot. Then I'm using dark blue just for the outer rim of the eye. And then we'll just put some black down for the pupils or irises. Oh, you thought I erased it? Like I decided to just change my mind and go with something else? Yeah, stippling time. Okay, so now what I do is I just fill in a little bit more of the black, because I don't go all the way to the edge with the black, nor do I go all the way to the edge with the white. And that's to leave a little buffer, because like with Ivy, I went a little too close to the black and they started to blend when I put the acrylic paint down. So now I'm just kind of touching up the little breaks in the color. Okay. And a little white gel pen for the like little highlights on there. Oh, I'm so glad you find it relaxing. Hello, Luis. A little bit of highlight time. Okay. So we can pretty much barely see any color in Harley's hair. So I'm gonna see, oh nice Kylie. I'm gonna see if maybe if I go over it one more time, it'll show up a little bit more like an ashy blonde hair, because I really would like to keep that nice ash blonde as opposed to like going full yellow, which Harley in Suicide Squad, her hair is not yellow blonde, it is like white blonde. So it has a very ashy undertone, and I'm probably going way too far into my own little brain as far as all this goes, but I do like it. I do want to try to keep it correct. It's enough. Okay, so now it is blue and pink on the hair. So I'm gonna start with marker. Just a little tiny bit. And let's get a little tiny bit of pink on there. On this side. Just to kind of set the tone a teeny bit. But the rest I'm gonna handle with my trusty Molotov pens. Now I bought these specifically for Harley's hair. So they are the right colors. I have a pink one and a blue one, and I got them for Harley hair, so they were the closest match I could find to Harley. Okay, and for like basically inked lines, I'm gonna go white in Harley's hair. I have one more to do, so my hope is that I'm gonna be done by 7:30 my time, which is in 25 minutes, because that's when it's dinner time for me. So probably another 25-30 minutes, and then I'll be done. So her little strands sometimes have the blue, sometimes don't. So I'm gonna just leave them white. Oh, how I love acrylic paint pens. So there is strand number 1. Let's do strand number 2 over here. And the reason why I'm doing these parts first is because they're gonna help me know where the rest of all of her hair needs to go and where the rest of her head is. Oh, that is so awesome, Kylie. Okay, and then this ponytail is kind of just coming in front. And then her hair is here. So that's ponytail 1. And then on this side, we would see a little bit of her head. And then here is ponytail number 2. And well, Kylie, please feel free to just go watch the movie, love. Oh, thank you, Kylie. That is so very kind of you and much appreciated. Okay, so here goes the blue. Woohoo! You certainly can't miss it. All right, and then the pink on the other side. There we go. And then I'm gonna just do white for a few other little highlights. It's so bright. Oh, okay, so you have to wait until Michael gets home anyway. All right. You need a bat who laughs. Alright, so time to write puddin', and then I'm finished with this one. So we wouldn't see all of it, but I'm just gonna fudge it and pretend like we would. So at least you can kind of see what I would be writing. And boom! Harley is done! Woot woot! Sign it. Wait, is this the right pen? All right, Suicide Squad Harley is finished. So what I'm gonna do, it's my short break time. So I'm going to just put all the ones that I've finished right here so you guys can see them. Hopefully all the other ones should be dry, so it's just the Harley I've got to watch out for. And let's turn down that light. Oh, the wife is happy? Yay, I'm so glad. Woohoo! All right, so here are all 3. The Harley in the center is the one that isn't quite dry yet, so I will be very cautious with that one. Okay, So here we go, and I'll be right back, you guys. Can't see Harley, Ivy, that sucks. There we go. Okay, so I will be right back, and thank you all so much for being here with me. Next up is another poison ivy, and I will just put on my print of the month. If everyone hasn't taken a look at that one, by all means, please take a peek. And then have fun, everyone. Chat with one another. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Oh, Heath was amazing. Waffle Man. He was amazing. He really was. Okay, so I'm gonna move these away very, very gently so I don't ruin anything. Hey, Tom. These are the ones that I have worked on so far. I have one more ivy to do, and then I'm done for the day. Right, so they need to be very gently placed over there as far as I can reach. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, me and Vienna listen to the soundtrack too. It's really good. So this ivy, I'm gonna do even more in her hair and maybe give her like a whole, I don't know, I still need to think about it. But I wanna do even more with this particular ivy. And this one is because I have more room for her hair, so I have more space to do some vines and all of that stuff. And this one, because I said I would let him know, this one is for Benny. Yes, for Benny. So Benny, this one is for you for when you watch this later. And I'm gonna do a lot more vines and flowers in her hair because I have a lot of space that I'm gonna go over the bouquet a little bit, I think, with Ivy's hair. So it's gonna be a fun one. And just so you guys know what I did, for those of you who are new on the stream, I colored this particular cover as a night scene. So it is rather dark, and as such, I did some pre-work on it to get the pencil lines in, because otherwise you guys would have been watching me and you wouldn't have been able to see anything besides my hand moving, because it's very hard to see pencil on this particular cover. So that's why I did them earlier. So I'm just getting out some of my tools that I set aside. I got a little too into cleaning. And I'm gonna adjust her chin just a tiny bit. So I have to be really careful with the erasing as well, because it's just too easy to pick up some of the color. So just a little dab dab. And for her, I'm not doing the completely red lips. I'm doing a little bit more of like a mauve color, maroon-ish, for her lips, not the red. All right, so I'm just gonna adjust her chin a little bit. It was a little sharp for me. Okay. Oh, really? I'm sorry, Tom. That's crazy. I always end up having to activate my pens in order to get them working on glossy paper. It's super weird. So these are permanent pens, which I just discovered when I was working at Yancey doing all of the remarks. I had struggled so hard trying to ink with acrylic paint pen, but the nib is quite fat, so I was just struggling to like use it on all these crazy contortion-y style angles to get it to not be so fat on the ink lines. And then I realized that all of my ink pens are permanent, and I'm like, man, I really should have figured that out sooner. I just assumed that they wouldn't work on this paper, but they do, which is awesome. So it's really handy to be able to work with a slightly thinner pen, I'm not gonna lie. And it makes it so I can add in a bit more detail to the remarks. Here at your commission. Oh, see you later, Jason. Oh wow, that's hilarious. Sorry everyone about my commission situation. I am gonna try to fix this. It's not funny. I'm so sorry, everybody. Oh, hello. What happened? Oh, did I get a raid? Woohoo! That is awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining my stream. I'm not sure who sent the raid, but you guys are great. Love you all. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I missed it. I'm just over here focusing on art. Thank you all so much for joining. Hello. Thank you so much for joining my stream, everybody. I really appreciate it. Oh, those are really, really cool emojis. I love them. Thank you. Oh, Janelle Wheeler, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Woohoo, you guys are great. So right now I'm working on a Poison Ivy remark. So I'm drawing on the Batman 50 exclusive cover that I drew and colored. And so I'm drawing a quick sketch for someone on this stream. So thank you all for joining. So Poison Ivy is a fun one to work on because her hair and everything gives a lot to work with. And I'm using Faber-Castell Eco Pigment pens, which are permanent, and they work on this particular type of glossy paper, which is awesome. Because otherwise you have to pretty much stick to exclusively Sharpie markers or acrylic paint pens, which they are, the nibs and the way that they draw, they're a little fatter, so it's a little hard to put in detail. So this way makes it so much easier, and I discovered this while I was working on 44 remarks of the Batman 50 book. Show them the ones I did already. Okay, I'll show you all. Right now, this one I'm working on is Ivy. I finished a Joker. So here's a Joker. And here is a Harley Quinn, like a Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. And here is a Poison Ivy. So now I'm just working on the last Poison Ivy. Oh, thank you, Stuart. Thank you so much, everyone, for the follows, for everyone who has started following me on here. I really appreciate it. I am so grateful to all of you, and thank you, Janelle, for sending so many people. You're awesome. So for everyone who doesn't know, my name is Dawn McTeigue. I work for a bunch of different comic book companies. I'm a freelance comic book artist. TARDIS, the reason why there's two is because the people who ordered these, each of them respectively requested Poison Ivy. So I put these on my email list. These were my comps, which is like my complimentary books for drawing the cover. And they were the ones that I was given. And so then I offered them to my email subscription list, and they chose the ones that they wanted me to draw for them. So anyway, I will get back to working on them, but these are the ones that I've completed on this stream so far. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys like them. I really appreciate that. So it's because I did a lot of the work with acrylic paint pens. They take a minute to dry, so I'm just being really careful with them to make sure I don't smear the work and make a huge mess. So right now I'm finishing up my last piece that I'm working on now, which is a Poison Ivy. Thank you guys. Thank you, Boop Squad, for doing some of the MooBot commands. You guys rock. Really appreciate it. So just getting the ink lines in for the side of her face, and then I'll start working on her lips and all those pretty fun things. Boop Squad represent, that's right. Oh, thank you so much, Jeff. Okay, this is my little messy pad with all of the extra acrylic paint pen smoosh. So I'm gonna start a new one because I'm just running the risk of smearing acrylic paint all over the place. Aw, you guys are amazing. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jeff. That is, right now is definitely like a ton of people compared to what I'm used to. For everyone who's new on here, I am new to Twitch. I have only been on Twitch for I think a month. So thank you all so much for being here. If any of you feel like following me, I do stream about 3 times a week, and I do a lot of work for companies. So any companies that give me permission to live stream my work for them, I live stream sketching comic book covers and interior pages. I finalize the work on stream. I also stream digital color work, Copic color work, pretty much everything to do with comic book art I do on this stream, and I'm more than happy to explain anything if you ever have any questions about comic book art. So I am here for you. Okay, now I'm gonna draw in her lips, and I do her, Oh, okay, see you later, Street Dragon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Jim Bop. Oh, thank you, Rick. You are awesome. My pleasure. It's really fun to do these live. So thank you all so much for joining me on here. And probably by my Wednesday stream, so for any of you who haven't noticed yet, I have kind of changed my streaming schedule, and I'm gonna be streaming, and I need to actually put it on my Twitch page here, but I'm gonna be streaming from on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday right now. So that's gonna be my schedule, and generally in the late afternoon. So I'll be officially putting that on my Twitch page here soon so that you guys can all remember my schedule. But that's kind of where I'm going right now as far as what works. Got a bunch of Princeton's art books. How did I find out about Twitch? It was suggested to me by quite a few people. I was doing Facebook live streaming, and I started in, I think, January of this year, streaming on Facebook Live. And then it was, you know, brought up to me a number of times, you should really try Twitch, should consider Twitch. And that's kind of where I heard about Twitch and then started looking into it, and only kind of, I had to buy a whole new setup in order to do streaming. Change my desk around, just rewrite it all. And so then I got started, I think a month or 2 ago. You've got to break everybody in on Waffle Man. Thank you so much for being here, TARDIS. I appreciate it. Have a good one. And Waffle Man, for anyone who reads that, that is my husband who makes these little Moobot things. So, yes, I take no responsibility for those, even though they're hilarious. Okay, so I'm doing the Sharpie marker part first. So I do that so that I can ink on top of the Sharpie marker once it dries. I have never done anything from Spider-Man. Okay, well, not officially. I've done commissions that are of you know, Spider-Gwen and Black Cat and all those ones from the Spider-Man universe, but not officially for Marvel. It was early June. Okay, so I've been on for a couple months then, like 2 months. Oh, hello, William. Okay, so I'm just putting in the lines for Ivy's lips now. And I kind of changed it from my pencil, so I'm gonna need to erase some of my little pencil sketch lines, but those will be pretty easy to erase once it's finished. But I'm happier with her her Sharpie mouth than my pencil mouth that I put in, so it'll be an easy fix to get rid of the pencil lines, thankfully. Tanis, you made it! Hello! Yes, I believe that... Oh, MJ, no, she's gone now. So she was the Print of the Month in last month, I think. So yeah, she's gone. Oh, thank you, Rick. I'm so glad you like it. Okay, so now it's time for Ivy's hair, and I discovered an amazing Sharpie marker color. It's almost rust if you see it on paper. So here it looks like rust color almost, but on the glossy paper it seems to come out just like the perfect auburny red for Ivy, so I'm really happy. You're like crazy cute. That's awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna give her a pretty far to the side part on this one. And let's get some curls going on in there. So I'm gonna do her hair first, and then I'll put a lot of the flowers and ivy leaves and all those things that I want in her hair afterwards. I don't want to have her necklace. I mean, without a neck, not a necklace kind of jewelry thing going on. Stripping days are over for William. Whoops, I bumped the camera with my head. Sorry, everybody. Yes, Dawn McTeigue is my YouTube page name. That's right. Thank you, David. Thank you all of you who are putting links and explaining about my work. You guys rock. So I'm going for long hair on Ivy this time because I want to put a bunch of fun, pretty flowers and stuff in her hair. And it just goes faster to do on the side of the Sharpie pen, so that's why I'm working with the side of it. It just fills up this space a lot faster. There we go. And then once you do like big sections, to me it looks a lot more natural if at the end you go around and just do some thinner lines to sort of complement or look like they're kind of breaking off from the pack. It makes it look a lot more natural. It's no problem. I completely understand when people don't pronounce my name correctly. My brother, he just straight up gave up, and now he pronounces his name McTeigue because everybody does. But yes, technically, it's McTeigue. And you're right, Kara. Pretty much everyone has, and I completely understand that. It doesn't bother me one bit. Oh, and thank you, RB Wheel. Okay, so I want to do some pretty yellow flowers in her hair. And some little yellow sparkles going around. And while I'm working on this, I am going to fill her eyes with white. So I'm gonna get that in right now. She looks like me. Yeah, I don't correct anyone for pronouncing my name incorrectly. I kind of feel like at this point, it's sort of my name's fault for being difficult to read. Go. So I'm going to go back over with the black to just fill in her eyes in any spots that I've kind of gone over the line with the white. Oh, thank you so much, Seven. So now's the fun part where I could start doing the white accents in the hair, and then all of a sudden, like, her hair makes sense and there's like form to it as opposed to just a big orange flat color. So I love these acrylic paint pens. They are just the best for remarks. Yeah, Dan is really staying on top of it. It's amazing how well he's doing in keeping my YouTube channel full and downloading all of the Twitch streams before they expire. It's really, really handy. And oh my God, I am unscrewing my pen. There we go. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you liked the Mary Jane print and you're looking forward to Hell Witch. I really appreciate that. He's secretly Waffle Man. It's possible. Oh my goodness, I have a cat here and I didn't know it. Sherlock, come here. Come say hi to everybody. No, not trying to do that today. Let me see. Can everybody see Sherlock? Say hello. My name is Sherlock. I did not even know that he was in here. The Hell Witch cover is for Coffin Comics, so it's a new Lady Death series. So I don't know when that one is being released, but it is going to be coming out sometime soon, or sometime in the next few months, I guess. I do know that my deadline is on the 15th and it is firm. I cannot ask for any extensions. Yes, my cat, last time he was weighed, Sherlock weighed 15 pounds. So he's a pretty big fluffy kitty. Yeah, so follow Coffin Comics because they're the ones that I am doing that cover for. Did Sherlock get his name during litter training? No, actually, we named him before he was even born. We were on a wait list for a British blue short hair, which is the breed that he is. And he is my precious kitty. I have no idea how to do a Kickstarter. I'm sorry. Oh, hello, Jason. Thank you. Oh, Kylie's got it covered. Okay, time to put in her eyes, and then we're pretty much done. So I'll take a picture of all of these when I'm finished and I'll post them on my Instagram account. So if anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, you just scroll down on the page and then you'll get a link to my Instagram account. And from there you can follow me, and that's where I give advance warning when I'm gonna go live and all of that fun stuff. All right, Sharpie marker time. Oh yeah. Well, thank you, Han Solo. Okay, see you later, Keeman. Thank you so much for hanging out. I am going overtime, I realize that. Sorry, Keeman. I was thinking I would be done by 7 o'clock, but clearly not. Oh no, I'm taking all your money. Okay, and some, now I'm gonna fix up, shut up and take my money. Alright, and then just a little bit of gel on the, to do the shines on her eyes, and I'm done. sign it. Okay, all 4 remarks are finished. Do you think I'll do another Lady Death cover after Hell Witch? I'm sure I will at some point. Right now, I don't have any other Lady Death Coffin comic deadlines after I'm done with Hell Witch, but you know, I'm sure at some point more will be in the works. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys all 4 of them, and then I'm gonna sign off and go for dinner. Thank you all so much for being on the stream with me. I really appreciate it. It has been a ton of fun. Thank you so much to everyone who's stuck around after the raid. I am so grateful to have you here with me. I love you all. Thank you again. And here are the final pieces. So these are my 4 complimentary books that I received for doing the Batman 50 cover. And here are the final remarks that are going to people on my email list. You know what, Gabriel Black? I am pretty much done with the Hell Witch. If I finish before my deadline, I won't be streaming again working on the dress. If I don't finish before my deadline, yes, I will stream again. Or who knows, maybe I'll just do an extra stream for fun. If you guys would like to see me work on more coloring, let me know. Message me or comment on my Facebook or Instagram and I will decide what to do. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I love you all. I very much appreciate you joining along. And thank you again. You guys rock. Have a fantastic week.